Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video on the quick take. Yes, I butchered the intro, but you know what, I'm going to run with it. Chelsea lost 2-0 against Real Madrid, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not surprised. Although I am, actually no, that's a lie. I am a little bit surprised because prior to the sanctions, Chelsea always had something in them that even in our darkest moments we could pull a result out of the hat. But since the sanctions and since our club has been ripped from the inside out, it's just not there. Performances are just not there. And listen, you can take a lot of positives from this result, right? I know it's hard to think, how is there any positives to this? But there are positives. It has highlighted just how shit we are in certain positions and the deadwood that need to be shifted. I'm talking about players like Kai Havertz. I'm talking about players like Reece James. No, I'm not talking about Reece James. And it's been highlighted all season, but it highlighted specifically in this game just how in desperate need of a striker we are in. And I know that every single Chelsea content creator has been saying this for the past few months, but it's true. It is true. We couldn't score a single goal today. We never looked at like scoring a goal except for that one chance Raheem Sterling had, but that was it. João Felix went in on goal, right? Perfect ball in behind, and he failed to take his opportunity. He just completely flustered it. And one thing led to another. Real Madrid score, and then second half they score again, and Ben Chilwell gets sent off. So we're down to 10 men, 2-0 down at the Bernabeu. Never a good situation to find yourself in, but we found ourselves in it. Look, this Chelsea side are lost at the moment, and I've been saying for a while now that this season is a complete write-off, and it is a complete write-off. There's nothing to save the season. We are not going to put 3 goals past. I repeat, we are not putting 3 goals past Real Madrid in the return leg at Stamford Bridge. It's just not going to happen. It could be. I'm probably going to predict a 0-0 draw or even like a 1-0 Real Madrid win. That's the reality we're facing. That's reality we're facing, and I'm not okay with it. I'm never okay with Chelsea losing, but right now I'm so used to losing right now, and the results have just been far from where they need to be. In our last 5 games, it's been 2-2 Everton. 2-0 loss to Aston Villa. That got Potter sacked eventually, but it was far too late. He should have been sacked during the international break, but he wasn't. He wasn't sacked during the international break, and that's done a lot of damage to the club. We might have had a chance, but I don't know. 0-0 draw to Liverpool. That was with Bruno Saltor for 1 game. He's now gone. Lampard came in. We lost to Wolves 1-0, and then obviously Real Madrid game, and we've got Brighton next. Robert De Zerbi's Brighton, who put 4 goals. Well, they didn't really put 4 goals past us. I think they might have put 1 or 2 past us, and the rest were our own goals. So well done us. Got Brighton, then we got Real Madrid, then we got Brentford, then we got Arsenal. Bournemouth will probably lose to Bournemouth. Nottingham Forest probably lose to them. Man City, Newcastle losing. We got Wrexham as a club friend. Oh, that's the end of the season. That's the friendlies. Playing Wrexham, that'd be fun. Fuck's sake. Probably lose that game as well. Although hopefully we'll have a new manager in by then, which I'll be covering in my video either coming later today or tomorrow. Another episode of TQT News, which is just covering the latest news concerning Julian Nagelsmann. Some breaking news has happened today, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. But I will be dealing with that at a later date. Back to the Real Madrid game. There are some positives taken in this game. And the fact is that the key weaknesses in our squad have been highlighted and will be fixed, in my opinion, in the summer. Obviously, we need a striker. We need a number 6. A new goalkeeper would be nice. Kepa is just so poor against long shots. That, I think, was it Asensio that scored from outside the box from the corner? That was just poor. I do feel like we might have had a chance if Ben Chilwell didn't get sent off. Him getting a red card and him being obviously one of our defenders in the side, it really scuppered our chances of having any chance of putting a goal past Real Madrid, because then at that point we have to go defensive, and just it's damage limitations at that point. Beforehand, I actually think Lampard was probably thinking, okay, I'm going to bring Mudryk on, I'm going to bring on Havertz, I'm really going to try and put the pressure on Real Madrid and maybe get a goal, or maybe even get a goal out of this game. If we can make it 2-1 and take the fixture back to Stamford Bridge, we really do have a chance. A slim chance, but there is a chance. Now, I just don't think so. We've got so many players on yellow cards. We got Ben Chilwell suspended. And look at our season. Tell me where you think that we can prove that we have any chance against Real Madrid. I mean, I don't know what we were thinking. We lost to Aston Villa. We lost to Southampton this season. We lost to Wolves. I don't know what we were thinking we could beat Real Madrid. Delusion, I think. Wishful thinking that we were the Chelsea of the old and not the new. And I agree with Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley was ambushed. He wasn't really ambushed, but as he was coming out of a restaurant, I think, he was asked some questions by Sky Sports, and he said, like, the future is bright. He also said we were going to win 3-0, so yeah. But he said the future is bright, and I agree with him there, because Chelsea are going to transform in the summer. When we bring in our new manager, whether that's Luis Enrique or whether that's Julian Nagelsmann, I prefer it to be the latter, but if it's Luis Enrique, I'm gassed. I'm happy. We are winning either way. But if we bring in someone like Julian Nagelsmann and Christopher Vivell identifies which deadwood need to be shifted, and there is a lot of deadwood, and I will be covering this in a later video. The players who I think should be gone and players who I think should be brought in, and just a kind of review of the year basically. But when we do get that manager, and when we do get that striker, whether it's Osimhen, whether it's Gonçalo Ramos, whether it's Ivan Toney, whoever it is, we will be a completely different side. Because right now, one of the big thing we're missing is a goal scorer. We created chances against Real Madrid. We did. We created a bucket load of chances, but what we failed to do is we failed massively to capitalise on them. João Felix went in on goal and scuppered the chance. We would play the ball out wide to Ben Chilwell, and we would play the ball out wide to Reece James, and then they just end up recycling the ball back around the box, and then eventually we either lose possession or we get pressured back to the halfway line or even back to Kepa, and that just can't happen. If we had a striker, we would be whipping crosses in left, right and centre, because that is what Ben Chilwell, and that is what especially Reece James is excellent at, and that is their crossing ability. But when you're trying to find João Felix and when you're trying to find Raheem Sterling in the midst of the Real Madrid defence, it's like trying to find a dog in a field of tall grass. You're never going to see them, right? They just tower above them. You can't get the ball to them. You can't see them. You can't pick them out. So what we really needed to do was play through the middle, but we just couldn't really do that again, because either Toni Kroos or Luka Modric was there just to intercept the ball, or even Federico Valverde. He had quite a good game, and we couldn't compete with that. All our chances in the game were cut out brilliantly by Real Madrid, and that's what you can expect. Is Real Madrid. They are a world-class side, and we are having quite possibly one of the worst seasons of all time. Quite possibly. I think I saw a stat like this is the first time Chelsea have gone 4 games without scoring a goal in like 30 years. And that just sums up the season perfectly. We haven't been able to score all season. All season we haven't been able to score. We've had 1 or 2 João Felix goals from a lovely Enzo Fernandez pass. We've had a few Kai Havertz goals. We've had a few Wesley Fofana goals. But we don't have our Erling Haaland, we don't have our Gonçalo Ramos, we don't have our Dusan Vlahovic, we don't have our Rasmus Højlund. We just don't have that clinical guy up front who we can feed chances to and that we can expect goals from. We just don't have it. We do have Christopher Nkunku coming in, but he's not a number 9. He plays behind the striker, or he plays kind of around, or either on the left, the right, or even midfield. He is incredibly versatile. He's played in many different positions in his career. But I think that he would be best utilised as a second striker behind whoever comes in, and that is something that I think Julian Nagelsmann would really excel in. If obviously he brought him through with RB Leipzig, but that is one of the reasons why I'm actually veering towards Julian Nagelsmann, just because Christopher Nkunku's coming in, and obviously the links with Christopher Vivell. Lots of Christophers in this team, I'm just realising. So I agree, the future is bright, but do we have a chance in the return leg to Stamford Bridge? No. Pundits will say yes. Delusional Chelsea fans will say yes. Do we have a chance? No. This is Real Madrid's bread and butter, right? They've been there, done that, I don't know how many times now. It's definitely in the double digits. So it's 16, 15 times they've already won the Champions League. They'll easily beat us at Stamford Bridge. Easy. What I will say is, Chelsea fans around the world, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. This season needed to happen. We've been papering over cracks for years now. We've been bringing in players like Gonzalo Higuain on short-term basis. We've had a lot of issues with this side for many years now, and I think this season has really showcased just how poor things are at Chelsea at the moment. And I think we're going to have an Arsenal moment where things are terrible, but they need to be terrible so that we can take action and rebuild properly and not make the same mistakes as the previous hierarchy did, like Marino, Granovskaya, giving big contracts to players like Danny Drinkwater and Bakayoko and Kepa Arrizabalaga, and not signing Antonio Rudiger and Christensen for new contracts. That was just ridiculous. That ruined a lot of the summer was just chasing after their replacements. If we still had Rudiger, if we still had Christensen, we'd be in a far better place as a club at the moment. I truly believe that, because we wouldn't have had to spend, was it £80 million on Wesley Fofana? We would have, you know, bought a striker. We would have bought a number 6. We'd be in a better position. We'd probably be like 6th or 7th, but we wouldn't be 11th, which is where we are now. It's dangerous. It is dangerous. But I will say the future is bright. I agree with Top Ollie there. The future is bright. So that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think we have any sort of a chance against Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge? Where do you think we go from here? Honestly, I don't know. If you like the video, please obviously like the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I've been the Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.